Hey everyone, I'm back today. Just doing a quick video because I need to share some sad news with you all. This isn't Pokemon related, but I do occasionally feature the cats in some of my videos. Felt I needed to let you all know that this past week, Rami sadly passed away. It was sudden, out of the blue. We're all pretty heartbroken right now. He was perfectly healthy as far as we could tell. He was running around playing, being his usual happy self, didn't show any signs of sickness, being injured or anything like that. Just being his normal happy self, running around, and then suddenly he wasn't anymore. We're only left to assume that it was something internal, like his heart, from what we've read, looked up. Rami was just over 3 years old. Still such a young cat, and he deserves so much more time than he got. Jen adopted Rami late 2019. Just after she'd lost her long-term companion cat, whose name was Jet. It wasn't planned, but Rami, he was a failed stud cat from a breeder who needed a home, so Jen adopted him. The timing just worked. Jen was going through a pretty rough few months in her life then, and Rami provided this extra emotional support. I didn't live with Jen and Jules and Bowie back then, but I spent a lot of time over at their house. I got to know Rami very well, and him and I have definitely formed a very close bond. And then this past year of us all living together, that bond definitely grew stronger between him and I. He wasn't like most Oriental cats. He wasn't very loud or vocal. Quite the opposite. He was quiet, he was shy, very calm. He only spoke up here and there once he knew you pretty well. He loved playing fetch. It was one of the first times in my life I've seen a cat act so much like a dog. He just loved. He'd bring up his little mousey over to you and you just knew what he wanted you to do. He wanted you to start throwing it. He could do it for hours if you let him. Definitely an independent cat. He enjoyed his time by himself. He'd curl up in a cat bed somewhere, just a big black void, as we like to call him. But as much as he enjoyed doing that, he was a lap cat too. He enjoyed coming and finding you and sitting on your lap. He loved morning cuddles too. Me being a shift worker, working late nights and having big sleep-ins so often, everyone else would leave the house, and he'd often come and use that time to come into the cupboards and just sprawl himself straight across my stomach and keep me in bed a little longer than I probably would have planned to have stayed in otherwise. Since I started this channel and I started editing videos and spending a lot more time at the computer, I do a lot of my best. I find working through the night is my best time, my most productive time. If I stayed up late doing that, I'd hear Rami at that door right there. He'd start meowing. I knew what he wanted. I'd let him in. He'd come right over here, jump on my lap, start purring away like a little motor, kneading his little heart out. Sometimes we'd play a little solo game of fetch in here. He'd want a little bit of time away from the other kitties, because sometimes they'd interfere or hog the toys too much. So sometimes I would oblige him. We'd just play in here for a little bit with the door shut, just him and I. Yeah, it was our special time together, and I do miss it very much. Bowie and Rami took a little while to bond. Bowie was never a particularly snuggly cat. He's getting better, but when they first met, he wasn't. But Rami tried and tried and tried. He wanted a snuggle buddy so bad, and he wore Bowie down eventually. And they started to snuggle a little bit recently. Not as much as Rami would have liked though, I guess. But then Ophelia, who you saw on the channel when we got her 3 months ago, when she joined the family, Rami finally got that snuggle buddy that he'd wanted. And I'm so glad that he got that, even just for 3 months, because it's what he wanted the whole time, and she immediately bonded with him. She snuggled in the cat bed with him in the sun. They both loved all the same things, playing fetch, playing chasies. They just got on so well, and they definitely bonded hard and fast. I do think Rami was kind of like the link between Bowie and Ophelia, the one in the middle. So they are quite a bit lost right now. They're a bit out of sorts without him. They're still figuring things out between themselves, only having each other. I think they'll get there. It'll take a bit of time, but I think Bowie and Ophelia will get there. 2 years with Rami, it just wasn't enough. It wasn't enough time. He was the kindest, most gentle cat I've ever met, honestly. He never growled, never hissed, never scratched anyone, either of the other cats. Just a pure, calm, gentle soul. Best way I can think to describe him. We'd call him a little Black Panther. I'd call him a little Umbreon. He deserved a long, full life. That's all I can say. It's not fair what happened. It's just one of those things that we don't understand. We never will. really be able to make sense of it. One of those just life isn't fair moments. But if any cat deserved a long life, it was him. That's all I can say. He was a very important part of our family, and it definitely feels like a piece is missing now, and I think it's going to feel that way for a while. I know some people are just going to say like, yeah, come on man, it's just a cat. Come on. But I don't want to tell you, man, a cat like Rami, he's family. What else can you say? Rami was definitely one of the most special companions and pets I've had in my life. I'll leave it at that for today, guys. It's been tough to talk about, so that's why it took me a little while. Sorry if it delays any videos. I did have a little bit already recorded and ready to go, but it's been a bit hard to edit and record this past week or so. But things should be back on track pretty shortly, hopefully, guys. Anyway, thank you, guys. That's all for now. Rami, buddy, rest in peace. We all love you and we all miss you. And I hope you're playing fetch to your heart's content wherever you are now. But that's all for today, guys. See ya.